Hey everyone, we'll get started in just a minute. Allow a couple minutes for everyone to join. Hi everyone who's joining. We're just giving it one more minute to see. We've got some people coming in, so just give it 1 minute. Hey, good morning, Cindy. How are you? All right, we will go ahead and get started. Got a good majority in here. Okay. So hello everyone, and welcome to our webinar, Mastering Industrial Ergonomics from Workstation Design to AI-Powered Assessment with Treston ErgoID. I'm Carissa Harris, your host for today's session. Presenting today is our ergonomics specialist, Mariah Holbeck. We also have Jona Patima, our ergonomist and product group manager from our factory in Finland. So this meeting is being recorded. Your microphones and cameras have been disabled. If you'd like to ask a question, just leave that in the chat under Q&A, and we will address those at the end of the session. Once we have concluded, a recording of this webinar will be emailed to you guys. All right, so let's kick things off by taking a quick look at our agenda for the next 45 minutes. So first, we'll begin with an introduction to ergonomics. What is it and why is it crucial for your workplace? Next, we'll explore the art of designing workstations with ergonomics in mind. Here you'll discover how optimizing your workspace can lead to increased productivity and reduced injuries. Then the highlight of today's webinar, an introduction to Treston ErgoID, our AI-powered ergonomic assessment service. You will see how it can revolutionize your workplace safety. Then after that, we'll have about 10 minutes for your questions. So type those into the chat and we will do our best to address as many of those as possible. As we near the end of the webinar, we'll wrap up with some closing remarks and discuss the next steps for those who are interested in exploring ergonomic assessments further. So before we begin, I'd like to remind you to stay through to the end of the session. We have a lot of exciting insights coming up for you guys. Okay, so I'll now turn it over to Mariah, who will provide us with an overview of what ergonomics is and why it's essential in today's workplace. So let's dive right in.
Hi, everyone. Let's begin by talking about ergonomics. Ergonomics is both an art and a science. It's about designing spaces and tools that align naturally with our human bodies, supporting us rather than working against us. It's about creating environments that adapt to an operator's physical needs, ensuring comfort, safety, and efficiency. Think about it. Our bodies are our constant companions, from work and back to school and home and back year after year. When employers prioritize ergonomic practices, they're investing in the long-term well-being of their employees. Failing to do so can come at a high cost. Across Europe, musculoskeletal disorders, or MSDs, impact millions of workers and cost companies billions of euros annually. In fact, MSDs are among the most common work-related health issues, with over half of the European workforce reporting symptoms. Additionally, work-related accidents and illnesses carry an economic burden of nearly 476 billion euros every year across the EU. For our US viewers, the cost of MSDs to the US economy is estimated to be $45 to $54 billion every year. These are significant numbers, and they're prompting industries to take ergonomic solutions seriously. The demand for ergonomic expertise, furniture, and tools is on the rise, and for good reason. Studies show that implementing a comprehensive ergonomics program in manufacturing can reduce MSD cases by 58% and decrease lost workdays by an impressive 72%. Now, those are numbers that make a difference. I hope by now you see just how essential ergonomics really is. Maybe those stats even made you sit up straighter or adjust your chair. Or if you're ahead of the game, stand at your standing desk. But ergonomics goes beyond just sitting at the right desk height or adjusting your ergonomic chair. It's about knowing whether you've adjusted things correctly and being able to spot when something feels off or isn't supporting you as it should. Now, ergonomics reaches into many areas, from sound and lighting to workflow planning and lean principles. It brings together psychology, physiology, biomechanics, anthropometrics, and industrial engineering. Yet too often, we only think about ergonomics at the time of purchase, and forgetting the full range of benefits it can offer over time. Collaboratively, ergonomics is the harmony of several key aspects. First, health and well-being. Ergonomics is about shaping the workplace to fit the needs of the worker, not the other way around. When workspaces align with human needs, they reduce strain, prevent injuries, and enhance overall health. It's a proactive approach to well-being, ensuring that employees feel supported and are less likely to experience issues like back pain, eye strain, or repetitive stress injuries. Second, boosted productivity. Comfort and productivity go hand in hand. When employees are positioned comfortably, they can work efficiently and maintain focus with less physical or mental fatigue. Ergonomics streamlines the workflow, making tasks easier to perform and reducing the time and effort required to complete them, which ultimately leads to better output and higher productivity. Third, employee satisfaction. Investing in ergonomics sends a clear message. Employees' health and comfort are valued. This commitment fosters trust and boosts morale, showing that the company is willing to invest in what matters most: its people. Satisfied employees are more likely to stay, leading to higher retention rates, lower turnover, and a positive, energized workplace culture. Third, inclusivity for all. A well-designed ergonomic program recognizes there is no one-size-fits-all approach. From towering giants to petite dynamos, everyone has unique needs. Ergonomics accommodates these differences by allowing flexibility in workstations, tools, and equipment, ensuring that every employee, regardless of their physical characteristics or job requirements, can work comfortably and safely. It's about making sure everyone has the best setup to succeed. Legal compliance. Adhering to ergonomic best practices also ensures compliance with safety and health regulations. Companies are obligated to provide safe working environments, and ergonomic adjustments reduce the likelihood of workplace injuries. Staying compliant isn't just a legal formality. It's a critical aspect of creating a safe, supportive environment for all. Lastly, cost savings. While ergonomic solutions do require an initial investment, the returns are clear. Fewer injuries mean fewer sick days, lower healthcare costs, and a healthier workforce that can perform at its peak. Over time, these savings add up, making the investment in ergonomics not only beneficial for employees, but also highly cost-effective for the company. Today, we are discussing industrial ergonomics, but how does that differ from office ergonomics? The complexities of industrial ergonomics give it a unique delineator from the office. Beyond being a more dangerous environment, where serious injury and even death can occur, industrial ergonomics has dynamic work environments with heavy use, repetitive physical tasks, forceful movements, and shared workspaces. It's also an area where little to no priority has been put on making this environment ergonomic until the last few years. And that's what we're looking at today. How to help your company or customers take the first steps to creating an ergonomic environment in your industrial workplace.
Great, thank you, Mariah. Now let's shift our focus a little bit to workstation design and how ergonomics can play a pivotal role in enhancing employee well-being and productivity. Fiona?
Thanks, Carissa, and hello, everyone. So my name is Jonna Patama, and I'm based at Treston headquarters in Finland, where we design our workstation furniture. My task as an ergonomist and product group manager is to combine ergonomics with our engineering knowledge. As I work closely with our R&D, I'm able to tell you what happens behind our scenes during the design and prototyping processes. First, we always look at the standards of International Standard Organization, ISO. They set global standards for trusted goods, and we fully agree with them that the standards set consistent benchmark for the businesses and ensure reliability of the products. And when we talk about our workstation furniture, we focus especially on the ergonomics and anthropometrics ISO standards. And of course, also the machine directive to ensure the safety of the electric height adjustable benches. As Mariah already mentioned, ergonomics is science of work, and the target is healthy, safe, and productive work. And anthropometrics is a science that defines physical measures of a person's size, form, and functional capabilities across the different nations around the world. So this is the starting point for the design. During the prototyping phase, we get help from our workers to test functionalities and measurements of the products. And yes, there is also an ISO standard for selecting persons for testing industrial products. A key element of ergonomic design is usability. And that means how easy the product is to use in a correct way. Good example would be the height adjustment of a workbench. Benches with an electric height adjustment are effortless and fast to use, and thus workers are more likely to do the needed adjustments during the work shift than, for example, when adjustment is done with a hand crank. Therefore, the key aspect of usability is how much time and effort are needed for efficient use of the product. Usability enhances also fluent work, and fluent work means less hassle and more time to concentrate on the productive work. We all know that no company will survive if it's not performing well. High performance level is the combination of workability and productivity, and ergonomics can promote these both. Let's focus next on suitability of the product. When we design, for example, workbenches, we look at the intended use of the workbench, as it can vary from clean rooms to electronics assembly or from packing to workshop environment. Therefore, we have a wide selection of workbenches that are suited for ESD protected areas like EP areas, to light or heavy duty assembly tasks, or as an integrated part of the logistics centers. In addition, the intended use also includes the variation of the size of the worktops and workbench frames and variation of the worktop materials. In addition, we also take care that each workbench model will have required accessories for every work environment. For example, adjustable shelves, LCD screen holders, slidable printer shelves, or packing material holders. If we think about the size of the worktop, we should bear in mind that the primary working zone, in the picture it's that tiny red circle, is actually very small with the diameter of 8 inches or 20 centimeters only. That is the area where the majority of the work, for example, assembly work, should happen. The darker gray area presents the secondary working zone, where the accessories and components could be placed. The lightest gray area presents the area where the seldomly used goods can be placed. Therefore, especially when working as sitting, it is important to think about the depth of the workstation, so how far you can really reach comfortably. Lastly, our workstation furniture is designed to be adaptable. The same standard units, along with the necessary accessories, are suited also to meet the future needs. Our furniture is designed with the user in mind, and it can easily be adapted also during the coming years. Together with products' long life cycle with a 10 years warranty and ergonomic design, we can help our customers to reach their ESG targets, especially from the environmental and social responsibility point of view. As my ergonomics background is in health sciences, one of my favorite topics is well-being at work. However, as I work in a manufacturing company, I won't forget that the productivity requirements of the work. Thus, I really appreciate ergonomics as it can help us achieve these both, well-being and productivity. Well, when thinking of how ergonomics can have an important role in enhancing employee well-being and productivity of the work, I always come back to the goals of ergonomics, which are healthy, safe, and productive work. The workstation design that promotes ergonomic way of working with usable and safe design also promotes the workability with the fluency of the work. As already mentioned, fluent work means less hassle and more time to focus on the core task. In this way, work can be more meaningful as workers can safely concentrate to use their full competence. This enhances well-being at work. Fluent and productive work that promotes workability is consisting of the possibility to variate work postures between sitting and standing. This variation will break the static postures, which both sitting and standing are, and thus revive our muscles, joints, and whole body. And if you look at the picture in the middle, you can see the green skeleton lines, which present healthy postural angles of movement. The green colors reflect the traditional risk assessment colors, and in this case, green means low risk for musculoskeletal disorders, according to RIBA, which is Rapid Entire Body Assessment. And Maria will come back to the visual way of ergonomic assessment in a moment. But before that, when designing your own workstation, the work should be supported with the task-related accessories, such as curved pin rail, tiltable shelf, or a perforated panel with hooks for your tools, like in the picture. In addition, an adjustable task lighting would help to create consistent and sufficient light condition for your work. In case you prefer to sit during the task, the chair should support you to maintain a relaxed and optimal posture. When you keep these aspects in your mind when designing your own workstation, you will have a good chance to increase your workability and well-being at work, which means also being able to enjoy your personal life without work-related health problems. Thanks, and back to you, Carissa.
Thank you, Jonna. Now let's go back to Mariah, who's going to guide us through an introduction of Treston ErgoID and show you firsthand how this service seeks to identify ergonomic risks and provide you with detailed steps to improving your workplace safety. And Mariah, you're on mute.
Thank you. So we've developed Treston ErgoID to help companies take the first steps in creating an ergonomic environment for their employees. We do this through specialized expertise and ergonomic planning matched with cutting-edge AI technology. Through Treston ErgoID, we offer 3 different types of packages ranging from 1 ergonomic assessment, 5 ergonomic assessments, or a full site assessment with training and on-site guidance. Our first 2 packages we're able to offer without stepping foot in a customer's facility, which means no interruption to production. We simply have the floor manager or overall manager take a video of the operator during the workflow they want assessed, and utilizing AI technology, we are able to identify risky movements and areas, create an assessment, and recommend changes, practices, or products that will assist the operators in these risky movements. Whether it's the customer or myself while inside of the facility, a video is recorded, always from a side angle, for the best view of the workflow. The video should be under 2 minutes and be free of obstacles between the camera and the worker. Once the video is recorded, I process the video through an AI computer vision software, which will highlight areas of risk in terms of working positions. From this data, I'm able to analyze these positions and come up with a comprehensive action plan for mitigating these risks. Whether it's a simple adjustment like adjusting the height to a more ergonomic position, or positioning the equipment within easy reach to reduce arm or shoulder strain, or even a reconfiguration on a workspace, I suggest ways to reduce pain or strain on your workforce. I'm also able to show you with the AI software how much of an impact my suggestions could have on the ergonomic risk to your worker. Now you can see from this example, the worker was not working ergonomically, straining her upper arm while loading a box, giving her a high MSD risk score of 6. Now, with a simple adjustment to a working height of her table, we brought her upper arm risk down to a low MSD score of 2. Sometimes an easy adjustment can make a significant impact for your worker. Now, here's an example report that we provide to EHS managers. These reports include images of the workflow and screenshots from the AI processed videos, along with an extensive action plan developed by Treston. As you can see, it is the combination of AI-driven data and our in-house expertise that makes this service so valuable for companies looking to improve their workplace safety. Whether it's a simple adjustment or a full-scale redesign, we aim to provide the best options for improving the safety of your workers. It's also a great tool to use as a checkup to be sure your workers are working ergonomically and safely.
All right, thank you, Mariah and Jonna. Lots of great insights there. Now it's time for our Q&A session. So if you have questions, please type those into the chat and we'll do our best to provide answers for those. But let's start with a couple of questions that we had before the webinar began. So Mariah, I'm going to give this one to you. Is Treston ErgoID the software, or is the software just a tool you use as part of your services?
Great question. Treston ErgoID is a service, not a software. This software is a tool that our expertise utilizes to assess and review the ergonomic capabilities or risks associated with an individual workflow.
Great. And then what is different about this service if you compare it to, for example, wearable technology or maybe hiring an ergonomics consultant?
Absolutely. Yeah, so for our service, as we highlighted earlier, the majority of our packages are not on site, which allows us to not interrupt workflow or production to make this happen. With wearable technology and hiring an ergonomics consultant, interrupting workflow and productivity is a huge kind of drawback to those pieces. Additionally, as you'll see when we've got a trifold that we'll send out, the cost to ErgoID service is significantly less than these two other options. And the reason why we did that when creating the Treston ErgoID service is that there's a lot of companies out there who are just looking to get their toes wet in ergonomics, to start foundationally and start to understand with their EHS managers what ergonomics in their specific industry and in their specific workflow will look like. And that's what we'd like. That's where we would like to fit in. And where we do fit in is helping people understand that you can be ergonomic and productive and take care of your employee all at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we've got some questions coming into the chat. So let's see, we've got, is this program available in Spain? Yona, you want to take that one?
Yeah, indeed. Like we have these ErgoID specialists in all our sales offices around the world, but as we don't have own sales office in Spain, I would rather contact me to see how we can proceed in Spain.
And then in your ErgoID, which ergonomic norms are applied in the assessments of risks and which areas of a body can be assessed?
Yeah, it's actually based on RIBA, which I mentioned earlier, the rapid entire body assessment, also RULA, like rapid upper limb assessment. Then there's possibility to estimate the safety of the lift. So there is NIOSH lifting equation included. And also, if you want to look at more closely at your wrist, there's this RSI, Revised Hand Strain Index, available.
Great. Okay, the next question we have is there a cost associated with ergo assessments?
Yes. So we'll send out our marketing trifold that will help all of you get more information as well as distribute them to pertinent individuals or decision makers. However, the first package is one assessment, one ergonomic video assessment, and that's $500. And then we have our second package, which is 5 assessments, the action plan that also comes in the first package, and then a virtual training for your operators and access to our ergonomics library. And that one is $2,000. And then our third package, which is actually our most popular, is what we call our enterprise package. That's the on-site assessments and planning and trainings and things like that. That one's based on how many workflows the company is looking to have done. So that one doesn't have a set price, but something we can quote for you if your company is interested.
Great. And then have we had any pushback from customers about filming sensitive production processes while evaluating employee ergonomics?
Yes, this has come up, and obviously is extensive within any industry that potentially have trade secrets or just like their secrets. Or the other piece that we've run into is securing the identities of their employees themselves. And so how we deal with that is the service actually allows us to blur out the faces of the bodies that we're assessing, which allows for anonymity on the side of the employee. And then from there, we have no problem signing NDAs, which we have done before regarding the use of the videos, along with our knowledge of what we see when we're doing these assessments. On top of that, all videos are uploaded to a secure cloud server and deleted upon 30 days after the assessment has been completed. And what this does is this allows the safety for the end user to know that there's a secure place where these videos are being uploaded and reviewed, as well as the deletion is allowing them to know that we no longer have continual access to these pieces.
And of course, it's really important to ask also the employees who are being recorded that they are happy with being recorded. So that is the first step. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Are you including the products being handled in the ergonomic assessment or only the body movements and postures?
Yeah, great question. So we take into consideration both what the body is doing, but also what the body is reacting to in the external environments. So if that is a piece of product that they are assembling or moving, or if that is just a piece of, furniture or something that's meant to help them in their workflow, but is actually getting in the way, we look at the entire environment, not necessarily just their bodies.
And he had a second question as well. Do you also provide the service for other work positions or stations which are not related to Treston workstations?
Yes, great question. So as we provide this service, this is independent from our products line. This is something that Treston saw in the market that was needed for our customers to have an expertise in ergonomics knowledge in the industrial workspace. So regardless of what products they're using, we really just want, our goal here is to help our customers be more ergonomic, whether they have our physical product or not.
Yeah, and I could add that in our factories, we might have welding workstation, bending, punching, whatever with the machines, and there are no our furniture involved, and you can still use it in an efficient way. So we are actually using in our own factories as well for improving the ergonomics.
Good. And then the last question we have is, are marketing pieces on the assessments available? And I can answer that because I am the marketing person here. Yes, those marketing pieces are available, and I will have those sent to you guys in the email following up with this webinar. All right. There are no other questions. I will move into closing the webinar. So thank you all for joining us today. You had a lot of great questions, and I appreciate those. We hope you found the webinar to be informative and inspiring. As a reminder, the recording of the webinar will be emailed to you guys so you can watch it again later, or for those of you who weren't able to join and are going to watch it later, that'll be available. You'll also get a link to download our ergonomic workspace design checklist, and that's a nice tool you can use as you're evaluating your workspaces and seeing how you can start your ergonomics journey. And then if you're interested in that Treston ErgoID service, we're going to be offering a special for this webinar of 20% off the packages for registrants of the webinar. Further questions, you can reach out to us with these contact details here. If there are no further questions, thank you for joining us today, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, thank you.